Hello, everybody. We are back. We're on again on Fortitude with Roland Gutierrez. I had to go back and look around. And you heard ZZ Top on the intro. We were saying that Marty looks kind of like Billy Gibbons, maybe. Who knows?
He wishes.
He does wish.
You may have heard it or not. Marty thought that was Chris Isaac.
I did think it was Chris Isaac.
Well, it wasn't. So, what are we going to talk about today? Three guys that don't know anything. We wanted to kind of recap everything that's gone on in the last week or so. And we just wanted to do a little monologue opening here. Trump. Well, it's really not a monologue if I include the three of us.
That's correct.
You
By definition.
definitely monologue anytime you want.
So here was last week's big joke with all of the actually funny people in the internet and on all the comedians, was that Trump said he talked to a president about in this invasion of Iran or whatever, this bombing of Iran. He goes, you heard that, right?
Consulted a former president.
Yeah. One that he liked. And so everybody tried to figure out who the heck was this president. Any thoughts?
Well, I think Clinton makes the most sense, right? Because both those guys have trouble with remembering conversations. So,
Oh, fuck you. Clinton was great. How could you even compare Clinton to this buffoon?
well, they had similar traveling companions, right?
Oh, no, stop already. Stop.
They flew on many jets together.
Yes.
Stop. This guy's probably, in my book, I mean, it's one of the, except for that, the one part with the gal under the desk, one of the best presidents, at least for our economy and so much more. We got a lot done during the Clinton administration. You would argue not, huh?
I disagree. I mean, I think he was extraordinarily gifted at communicating.
Budget surplus.
He had a budget surplus.
When was the last time we had that?
Before Clinton? Before Clinton?
Yeah, before Clinton.
I think it was Eisenhower. No, that can't be right. I bet you it was probably Coolidge.
When you look at all the shit that they threw at him, you had Newt Gingrich and was it the contract with America?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Sorry.
that's right. It was the hit job contract on America, where Republicans fucked you some more. And here's the thing: we're going to talk about this today. You know what the show's about today? We're going to deconstruct Donald Trump and all his bullshit. And while we're at it, we'll deconstruct some of these Republicans and all their bullshit. Yes, we're Democrats, but I think objectively speaking, you go down this list of the last 50 years of presidents, and Democrats have provided more jobs, more economy, better opportunity, better people to really succeed at the American dream than any Republican counterpart. And I think that any economist that's worth a shit will be able to study all of that. But, before we move on, we were talking about who we talked to. And so you say Clinton, George, Jorge.
Let me see. I'm gonna guess probably the ghost of Ronald Reagan.
The ghost of Ronald Reagan.
Zombie Reagan.
Yes, I'm gonna guess with all of his supernatural powers or the power of AI, they brought him back.
So everyone called bullshit. Clinton's people said, yeah, that didn't happen. They didn't talk. Bush's people said that it didn't happen. They didn't talk. And Obama's people say, yeah, certainly we don't talk to this guy ever. And so there you have it. You have the three presidents that are still alive say this didn't happen. So I've figured it out. I've cracked this code. I know what president Trump talked to.
Who was it?
Trump, President 47, talked to Trump, President 45.
That's brilliant.
It's absolutely. He says, I have a good relationship. I love this guy. He said that.
Was he talking to him as John Barron? And if so, which one was John Barron?
Don't know. All I know is that this motherfucker had a conversation with himself. Oh, shit, I called him motherfucker.
It's all right.
It's okay.
It's all right. It's kind of like Chinga tu madre, but different, right?
Yeah, it's just the English version.
The English version, yeah.
My question is, do you think he has an inner monologue?
Oh,
Yeah, and who knows? Who knows how he answers himself? Maybe he's 45, 47. I don't know.
I don't know, like kind of like how Batman always just calls himself Batman in his head. He never thinks of himself. Oh, I'm Bruce Wayne. He's like Don, John, Baron.
You know, I've cracked this code. He talked to himself. He wasn't lying. For once, the man didn't lie to America. So I'm very fond of him, he said. He said, we actually have a good relationship.
I bet.
It must be hard having an honest relationship with Donald Trump.
it must be. And you have to wonder, is he lying or is he delusional?
Yeah.
And which would you rather have, a lying president or a delusional president? Which one's more
Like-
dangerous?
He's both of those things.
Correct.
He's both of those things. Can you imagine being married to the dude?
No.
No. You know, I can't imagine being
she's
married
just
to him.
as fucked up. I mean, I think she's a gold digger, but sorry, she is.
Well, speaking of which, and this may be really inappropriate, I've heard that when they make love, that he's always on bottom.
Yeah, I think we're going way over the
Well,
top.
well, no.
I'm
Do you
sure
know why?
I-
Do you know why?
Why is that?
Because he can only fuck up.
All right, we stopped there getting into Trump sex life. Now we've gone a bridge too far. But yes, the woman is, I'm sorry. She's not a nice lady. We'll catch shit for this, for sure, for the previous minute.
You guys will.
Right. She's not a nice lady. This is a lady who apparently hates fucking Christmas or some shit.
She has a very European sense of Christmas.
Dark Christmas, whatever the fuck that is. She says horrible things about migrants
She does, while being one.
while being a migrant.
That's tough, right?
And so that's kind of my dividing line for me on people. She's not more human than him just because she's, seems somewhat more normal. I don't know, whatever that is in their world. She's a billionaire, 100-millionaire, whatever she is on her own. And she's just as toxic as the entire family. And they're all stealing. And so there is I just don't really want to picture their sex lives together. I don't think our two listeners.
Yeah, my mom said no, she doesn't want to.
Yeah.
She just called in and said she
She's
doesn't want to picture
texted
that.
you.
Yeah.
There's just just a bridge too far there. I didn't want to talk about that. So, okay. So, yes, I cracked the code. He talked to himself. We got that. But today, and this is why this is prescient and relevant. Today, he says on the news, this is why I wanted to talk about this.
And you're talking today, Monday,
Today,
March
Monday,
23rd.
March 23rd.
2026.
He says, yeah, I talked to Iran today. We're having great productive meetings. Maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was Marco Rubio. Maybe it was somebody.
He said he talked, right?
Right. I think he said him. His son-in-law, he's involved, trying to figure out where the next hotel in Iran's going to be. Who knows? And so today, the war's end is around the corner, according to him. They're about to capitulate. We won, and so much bullshit. We got them where we want them. And yet they said, no, we haven't talked at all.
I don't know him.
Right. That's like your girlfriend in high school, where you really love this girl, and she just, she don't want any part of you, and she just disses you. Iran dissed him this afternoon.
Yeah, Trump's Canadian girlfriend is Iran, so
She goes to another school.
you wouldn't know her, but she's cool, man.
The Iran I was talking to, we're working on a deal. So
Yes, no deals, it would seem. And again, this guy running his mouth off on fanciful bullshit. But true or not, hey, he's more important. He's an important guy, right? He's the president of the United States.
Yes,
regrettably.
Even I still would think that from a diplomatic position, if Iran was truly at the table they would want to let the world know that they're at the table. I don't see any kind of upside for them to say, yeah, he's full of shit, unless he's really full of shit, which we know.
Well, I mean, we make deals for a living in part, right? That's part of what you do as a lawyer. It's part of what you do as a contractor. And so if you're ever saying we're close to a deal, if one says side says we're really close to a deal, we're going to get this done. So much so I'm thinking about pausing what I'm doing, right? And the other side says, no, that didn't happen. We're not close.
Mm.
Who's got the advantage and who doesn't, right?
100%.
Yeah.
And we all know what the advantage is. So last week was bullshit, sort of. He did talk to himself. Who the fuck knows he was talking to today? He wasn't talking to Iran, but there it is. He's looking for the exit strategy, the way out. Because he really fucked us. And this is what Giorgio wants to talk about. Just for the record, so that everybody knows, it's Jorge, it's Giorgio, it's George. He goes by many different names. Any other names, George? And I'm not aware of.
None that I can mention on this podcast.
Yes, don't go there, George. And so sometimes I call him Giorgio. Sometimes it's Gorski. Sometimes it's George.
Mm-hmm.
And so tell me, oil and gas. Now we're at the meat of today's conversation. We talked it about last week quite a bit. Did a couple of, did the first deal on the first gas increase.
Mm-hmm.
Since that first post that we did, where I said that, I told her to go screw his mother and all that crap, and people went crazy. Most people were fine with it. Like 99.9% of people said, yeah, fuck him and fuck his whole family.
Mm-hmm.
There was a notable exception. We got some fan mail on it, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll leave that there. We you guys need to chill the fuck out.
It's just a podcast.
So to all the MAGA folks that actually get offended by this stuff, just fucking relax. I mean, really relax. I mean, this is more like our own personal therapy. If you don't like it, don't watch it. It's how we manage to put up with this bullshit. But we're going to deconstruct them. So if you do want to stick around, you might want to listen just a little bit. For the most part, we're just having some fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're just having some fun, and we're all in the same pain anyway, right? Like I remember 4 weeks ago, I was paying $1.99 a gallon for regular gas, and now I can't find anywhere cheaper than $3.49. My gas bill doubled almost overnight. Jet fuel, I think the Delta CEO jet fuel cost 3 times as much as it did 3 weeks ago before this war started. Like,
yeah,
this is the destruction of the American economy. This is crazy.
It's crazy. And it better fucking stop soon. Because, yeah, for most people, gas has gone up a whole bunch. I drive a diesel pickup in one of my jobs. So I have 4 jobs. If anybody wants to know, I have 4 jobs just to make, $250,000, $300,000 a year. I wish, and to some people that might be a lot of money, and it is.
It's a lot of money to everyone.
It is too.
No, I get it. Unfortunately, I think people live relative to their income, and you just buy more shit, and so I think that poor people are hurting a lot. Working class people are hurting a lot. Middle class people are hurting a lot. I think I would probably put myself in possibly an upper middle class bracket, maybe between middle and upper. And you just have more bills. And we employ a lot of people here at my law office. We've got several different things. I do some construction. And so I have this diesel truck that I use from time to time. Right now I'm in a little 4-cylinder car. And I try to drive the shit out of that car because things have gotten way out of hand. But if I need to pull something like I did last week, I went to the dump yard, to the dump facility. What do you call it?
The landfill?
The landfill.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, George.
You're welcome.
The landfill. I went to the landfill 5 times, dumping some construction material. And fuck, man. Filling up that big 3/4 ton, $164.
That's crazy.
It used to be. So I went from a 1/2 ton to a 3/4 ton, really 3/4 ton, 1/2 ton, and now 3/4 ton again. Because I'm doing more of this construction.
even at a time when you probably shouldn't be, right? Because everything's going to go up, housing prices, it's going to be difficult. But we try to create an affordable product for people. We're going to do that and continue to do that. We just build 4 or 5 houses a year. But the cost of this thing is so bad that if this war doesn't end, it's not just the pain that I'm having and you're having and everybody's having at the pump. It will begin to run and everything logistically. Groceries, lumber, material costs, you name it, housing prices. I think that if this guy doesn't get us out, we're heading for a really cataclysmic turn in our economy.
I mean, I think we're on the precipice of it to begin with, right? So 30% of the urea, that's a fertilizer, goes through the Strait of Hormuz, right? That's where the globe gets its fertilizer, because most fertilizer is petroleum-based, right? So right now, farmers in Iowa, all throughout the Midwest and the Plain States, are making choices about what to plant, whether it's going to be corn or soybeans. And apparently corn requires a great deal of nitrogen, requires a great deal of fertilizer to have a higher yield. And you can't unplant something once you plant it. And so and the problem is that the corn market, as I understand it, is like there's a portion of it that's ethanol based, right? And that's just a sunk cost. No, that's a guaranteed yield, right? And then there's also a portion that's animal food grain based, right? So that if ethanol, you get a certain price for ethanol, and that means that the corn, and there's less corn, the price for animal feed will go much higher. And then obviously the price for our corn that we consume will go much even higher than that. So as a consequence, there'll be a tremendous ripple effect for our food and our groceries that we're not going to see for a while. So the seed of the bad economy might bloom in 4 to 5 months, but it's there.
Right. And so I was doing some work with some oil field folks last week, some small operators, and they were also cattle people. And they were happy because cattle's, crazy high. They're getting $2,600 for a yearling. But their farmer counterparts, they're getting pummeled. And we've talked about this. We talked about this on everything from tariffs to attacks on migrants. And now this, farmers are really, really bonding together in a very good way. And then it's going to conversely affect us, like you just said. You mentioned something, urea, and that component, that chemical. I was checking to see if it was in diesel. It's not in diesel, but because I've heard it. Sure. I know where I heard it. It's in the diesel exhaust fluid that I put into the diesel. And so, shit, you just impressed me some more.
Stick with me, I'll make you voice that.
Yeah, so that the diesel exhaust fluid is going to go up. If it already has it, who knows? This thing is monumental. And I always kind of go at this from a perspective of trying to figure out how we can explain to people how much I don't like this dude, but it's not just because I don't like him or because he's a Republican. A lot of these people that have been president in the past, I mean, they're palatable. They've done some things where I say, oh, that was okay. Look, Ronald Reagan did amnesty. He also did a lot of bad shit.
Sure.
A ton.
Oh, duh. He did amnesty.
And Nixon did the Clean Air Act, right?
And really the work that, Nixon did in China was in kind of bolstering that relationship back then was pretty darn good too.
I mean, being Republican used to mean I'm against regulations and I'm against high taxes for some people, right? Now it means something different. And it's frankly more insidious and dangerous.
Right. And so that's where that big thing now becomes this deconstruction, because Donald Trump told us all, told the people that follow him, what are some of the things he said? He said, I'm going to make America great again. And his principal thing that he said was he was attacking migrants. They are the reason for your pain. That's bullshit. We know that it's bullshit.
But the MAGA folks need to know that it's bullshit. And it's bullshit because no migrant is the reason your insurance prices have gone up. No migrant is the reason your grocery prices have gone up. No migrant is the reason your housing prices have gone up. No migrant is the responsibility for your healthcare going up. It's just you were all sold this horrible, lie. And for me, as a son of immigrants, it really pisses me off that you believed it. But we have to talk about this messenger and who he is and what it was. And so I want to deconstruct him because so many of you got to like him, I guess, for maybe two reasons, because I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. We heard, I'm going to attack the migrants and kick them all out, right? And then the other thing that he says, I'm a good businessman. I'm a good businessman. I sometimes hear that from people. Oh, he's a good businessman.
The guy that bankrupted a casino is a good businessman?
Right. So there it is. I mean, so is he a good businessman?
I would say that he has some credit-worthy properties. He has some of the most beautiful properties in the world. And he's certainly more successful business than I am, and he's certainly very much more credit-worthy than me. But I pay my vendors on my law side. And when you do business with me, I meet most of my obligations, and if I don't, I pay you, right? And I don't think we can say that about Trump. And the most important thing about who he is that he's a salesman. He was on TV for 10 years.
Yeah, he's a good marketer, right? He's a good fucking flim flam guy. He's a good con artist.
100%. And I was raised by salespeople, and I know bullshit when I hear it. I just do.
Well, look, my father was an immigrant to this country, and then eventually he started selling insurance for a company called American National. My father was a good salesman, and he was honest, and he was trustworthy, and he was a good man.
Yeah.
Just because we say my brother is a salesman, my other brother's a salesman, we are all salesmen in our businesses, in our practices. Really, all of us, really, as humans, we are selling ourselves to someone, whether it be, hell, your girlfriend or your wife, or when you meet them, and so on. But there's something that this guy is not an honest broker.
He wants to put his name on things, and I think you see that in government. And he tried to make his name the brand. And whenever someone converts value to an identity, to a culture, to a name, that's when you know you're being sold a bill of goods, right? Trump University never taught anybody. Trump vodka was terrible. And it was, as a son of a salesperson, and my mom's a great salesperson, you just know when someone's conning you. Just hear it. It just sounds different to you,
Right. But why did most of rural America buy the bill of goods? Why did they buy the bullshit?
He was on TV for 10 years. He had universal name ID, and he had a brand of being a successful person. That was the TV identity I had. I'm good at this. I can handle administrating things. And for most people, I think in America, there's a deep-seated belief that things aren't going right, even when things are going pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, right? Because I catch a lot of shit for this because I was kind of supportive of Biden, and he passed more pieces of legislation, major legislation, than any president of the last 5, including Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Under worse situations.
So, I mean, I get shit from Democrats even on this, which is weird because it's like they bought Trump's message. Oh, he's old, he's this, he's whatever. No, dude, I mean, you got shit done when you couldn't. And whether it was him and his staff, who cares? That's what a presidency is. It's an administration. And this band of fucking nitwits, I mean, finally, I think since we last aired the last one, Noam is gone.
Jeez, yeah, no.
Woo!
Right. So he suckered us on immigration. He lied to us on immigration. We know that. You cannot go to a construction facility now, like houses in the Sun Belt, and all of those areas that we're building houses in, they're gone. They're empty. I saw this guy in the valley, Hispanic guy. We had a lot of Hispanics vote for Trump. And this guy says, well, I'm just disillusioned. He's fucked up my business. You know, I can't get workers to come out because he's gone after them all. It's like, dude, you knew what the fuck was going to go on.
That's what you voted for. So congratulations on your election win.
Right. So this is a New York Times article, and it was one of those video articles, right? I don't give a shit if this guy's listening or not.
No one's listening.
Yeah, no one's listening to us.
No.
If he ever gets wind of it, I don't even remember his name. Why did I say his name? It's the year. Who cares? Sorry fucker votes for this guy. Oh, he's the business guy, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but he told you what he was going to do on immigration.
They wrote a book about it.
Yeah.
They said, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
2 words: mass deportations. Oh, I'm sorry, 3. Now. Like that was at the RNC. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. And so, you know, and now they want to. Trump said this past week. He says, "Well, we're going to help the farmers out." What's he doing? He's cutting the fees on H-2A visas. So, folks, this is my actual day job. I'm an immigration lawyer. These visas are a pain in the ass to get. They're hard. They're filled with bureaucracy. You got to go through the workforce commission of your local state. Then you go to the Department of Labor. And then you go to USCIS, United States Citizen Immigration Services. And it's just kind of this process. Then you got to bring your folks across from the other side, and they go to the U.S. Embassy, and then they go to the border, and then they're finally here. So 5 different checkoffs of what needs to happen, right, for a farm to be able to petition somebody. Then that person can only stay here for 10 months out of a year. You've got to do this, that, and the other. So Trump's big solution is to say, hey, farmers, I'm going to let you petition those folks. I'm going to cut your fees a little bit. But here's his big solution. Forget the housing. You don't have to house them in the way that you previously had to house them. So now, farmers, you can put them in tents if you want.
Oh,
Fuck 'em.
dear
He said
Lord.
that. Forget the housing requirements. Don't worry about it. And then they said, the travel, to bring them in, they'll pay for it themselves. I mean, this is his solution to helping farmers. Fucking people even more.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking that poor immigrant who comes in legally and screws them more. I mean, what a fucking dick.
Yeah.
The dude's just a fucking dick. That's his solution. Forget, fixing a program that is filled with bureaucracy. This is how he thinks he's going to buy off some farmers. Dude, you fucked them on the tariffs. You fucked them on their immigrant workforce. You fucked them on their diesel prices. What else did he screw them on? He doged agencies that help farmers.
Yeah, and he's increased their cost in their fertilizer and their other fuel.
Right? The parts to fix the goddamn tractors. My only question is, farmers, when the fuck are you going to wake up? Time to wake up. The next episode, we're going to have a whole episode on woke. Because I'm fucking woke. I'm awake. I'm awake to the fact that Donald Trump is fucking the shit out of us. I think y'all need to wake the fuck up. That's what I call being woke. Ted Cruz loves to talk about woke culture, right?
He does.
I mean, fuck it. We're going to spend a whole episode talking about woke culture. Because what I really think it means is that most of those folks that are quote unquote woke have figured out that they're getting fucked by people like Donald Trump and so many others.
I mean, it should be called being right.
Yeah.
They were right the whole fucking time.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing more obvious in the English language than I woke up. I can fucking read. I know I'm being screwed. So my answer to all my farmer friends is wake the fuck up. Because he's fucking you over.
Stay woke or go broke.
That's a good one, George.
Thanks.
Man, I think that's fantastic. Stay woke or go broke, because that's exactly what it is. So Ted Cruz, I know you love to talk about that shit, but you're full of shit. But you've always been full of shit. Just like you abandoned your fellow Texans when it got a little cold in Texas in 2021. That dude takes off to Cancun. Well, we're going to save that for woke week.
We'll save that for when he's nominated to the Supreme Court, I guess.
Same.
Oh, Lord.
The Texas delegation of Republicans
So that is the Texas House members, Texas Senate members went on a field trip. You think that would have been on our tax dollars?
Well, I'm sure that they got reimbursement in some way. It's possible. It's possible.
So they went on a field trip to Washington, D.C. They thought they were going to meet Donald Trump. They thought they were going to have a visit with the big dog himself, their Lord and Savior, Donald J. Trump.
Praise be.
We found out, another great article we found last week, we found exactly what went on. Did they get to see Donald Trump?
No.
Who did they visit with?
I believe they visited with one Stevie Miller.
Stephen Miller, that's right, the real president,
The
the
slam
shadow
dunk.
president,
The man behind the curtain.
the man behind the
They
curtain.
didn't get
The
to see the
brain.
Great Oz. They saw the Little Oz.
Right. And so, what did this dude? What was the great? What was the mystery? What did you tell him?
He said, "Why didn't you pass a ban on the Dream Act?" Right? It was more. Why didn't you pass more anti-immigration legislation during your session? It was a scolding lecture. So
From a fucking asshole
Right.
who doesn't know shit about farmers and ranchers or Texas or anything.
Mhm.
Listen, man. You know, the more and more you talk to people in Texas, and really, and I interact probably more than you two do with farmers and ranchers,
yes, that's true.
and now with some oil and gas folks. And I'm not talking about big companies. I'm talking about small operators, people that have like mineral rights and so on, because they're usually farms,
Yeah.
and so on. Yeah, I always tell people we're all the same, man. I mean, there's really no difference. Chill out, MAGA. We're really on the same page. We really are trying to just go on, get along, and live and provide something better for our children. But assholes like Stephen Miller that, write these horrible books like Project 25, he didn't write it, some other douchebag did.
No, yeah, I mean, it was a group project. I mean, it's a huge apparatus, right?
It's the Heritage Foundation, right?
Yeah,
How to fuck America. That's what it should have been called.
I mean, that was the subtitle. So,
So this dude tells him, he tells him these things. Why didn't you pass more anti-immigrant shit? Because you can. And then he says to him, we have a rhino problem within the Republican primary in Texas. That's what he said, with the Republican Party as a rhino problem.
Mhm.
Tell what's a rhino?
That's a Republican in name only.
Right. At which point some of the people actually left the room.
Charlie Garrett, I think.
Charlie Garrett left the room.
God bless him.
Yeah. What a bunch of bullshit. You have some fucking New York Yankee fuck, Stephen Miller, and some other New York Yankee fucking Donald Trump telling you how to be a Texan.
How
Fucking
dispiriting, honestly. I mean, imagine you're going there and you've spent a whole session passing some of the most conservative bills imaginable.
The horrible shit.
Taking comments on lawn. They didn't pass the Anti-Dream Act, but they decided that immigrants couldn't qualify for in-state tuition. And they were there, I guess, to talk about Filer versus Doe, which is a 50-year-old Supreme Court case saying that we have to educate undocumented children, right? And it's like, why didn't you pass a law to ban that? So you're all day, you're sitting there, you're thinking you're going to get some sort of accolades for being the most conservative state, the leading conservative state in the union.
Yeah.
And here's this guy telling you to go fuck yourselves. You're not really Republicans.
Courage badge,
Right.
red badge of courage to say, oh, we were so great. And then you get fucked by Stephen Miller, the Nazi.
It's
Mhm.
crazy.
Which, by the way, I sent you a post and you cut out the Nazi part. I didn't like that.
Oh,
You took the Nazi part out. But I think it was because I said I wasn't going to say anything bad about
Yeah,
Donald Trump
and
on Sunday.
yeah.
Which somebody rightly corrected me in a response and said, yeah, you've never held back before, so what the hell are you doing now? And so
You did also call him a lunatic, but that was before.
That's
Before you said you weren't going to say anything bad about him.
I really believe that that Stephen Miller's like Gearing or Goebbels or one of those dudes.
He wishes.
I mean, yeah, right. Those guys were successful. So, I mean, I think you should always look to people's family and see what they say about him. And his family hates his guts. They say that. And if you look at all these guys, there's just huge family-sized holes in their lives. And it's hard for me not to feel empathy a little bit for someone who has trouble with their family. But
He's a douchebag.
he is a douchebag. There's no doubt about that.
He actually responded to one of our posts, which is, I thought, really pathetic.
Yeah,
Mhm.
really, because we're
Little old me, I'm just kind of like a nobody.
the leading state senator in the world, as far as I'm concerned. So. But
best.
not just him, right? It was Elon Musk responded to something he did.
Yeah, another guy. Stephen Miller's got like 50 people working for him, I found out.
Mhm.
And so it was probably some dweeb in a fucking room, shouting back at me.
It's hard to believe that there's a bigger dweeb there than Stephen Miller.
Right.
But I guess there's a guy who works for him.
Can you imagine what those dudes look like?
Oh,
Bunch of mini-me's.
oh.
And so this dude, God damn it, where was I? Elon Musk. I think he responded himself. I swear to God.
Oh, yeah.
That shit was so fucking intense.
It was.
Crazy.
He's extremely, he's always online, all kitted out.
I think that motherfucker read Ayn Rand like fucking 10 times over, read Atlas Shrugged.
That'd be hard to do.
I swear to God, his whole fucking rant was just bullshit Ayn Rand, objectivism, horseshit.
It was very fountainhead.
Read another book.
Yeah.
It's Harry Potter for fucking libertarians. Like, it's the worst.
Did that great lady, was it Joyce Carol Oates, I think?
She did.
Yes.
Yeah.
She came out
Yeah.
and backed me up.
Came in, assist, and then boom, just dunked on his ass.
Dude, just by the way, I just started reading that book, Fox,
Yeah.
and pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good so far.
Which is great.
Pretty good so far. I mean, it was just bizarre. So I've digressed, and
Digressions are good.
I
Here's
guess.
an interesting one, right?
the problem is I forgot what I was saying.
Yeah, we know. I was looking today at the House Un-American Activities Committee, in the 40s and the 50s. And in 47, they had a committee hearing where Ayn Rand actually testified.
Oh, shit.
And the same committee hearing, or the same committee week, it was Ronald Reagan, Ayn Rand, Walt Disney, Gary Cooper, all laying out the role of communism in movies. I just thought, and then Nixon was on the committee at the same time in 47. So Nixon's questioning Reagan, two future presidents. I just think I know no one cares about this besides me, but I just think it's fascinating. And Ayn Rand was there. Like, that's
No, but let's even go one step further. It's McCarthy.
Yes.
Joe McCarthy.
Well, this is in the House. This is the House. So Joe McCarthy was in the Senate.
In the Senate.
Yeah.
And who was his chief of staff?
Was
Roy Cohn.
Was chief counsel.
His chief counsel was Roy Cohn. That was Trump's lawyer. Watch the show, a movie called The Apprentice. It'll scare the shit out of you. And Roy Cohn was another douchebag, but he told his client, friend, whatever he was, mentee, mentor, Donald Trump, he said, fight all the time, fight. And so going back to my original thought that I've now remembered, imagine that you've got this Stephen Miller douchebag telling you this crap, that you're not conservative enough.
Right.
And what a fucking joke. And let me tell you, these dudes, yeah, okay, I talked to them in the building, sure. And they're nice enough. Yeah, you could go have a beer with them. But at the end of the day, the policies that they push fuck you over each and every day. And they screw over farmers. They screw over business people even the same people that they claim to be helping. All of their folks, they're hurting. And they screw over my folks, poor people, working class people, with impunity, and migrants with impunity. So I want to be very clear about what's happening in Texas. It's far, far from old Ronald Reagan, George Bush, small C conservative bullshit. This has turned into crazy ass witch hunt. We don't like the way you look. We don't like the way you talk. We don't like who you fuck. And so therefore we're coming after you. That's exactly what they do. That's who these people are.
And that's still not enough for Stephen Miller.
Yep. Imagine that. I promised Marty we'd talk a little baseball. Just to fuck with Donald Trump, Venezuela. Well, by the way, where are we supposed to get cheaper fucking gas in Venezuela?
Well,
Well, it turns out they can't sell it, I think. There's like a court case saying that they can't sell the oil, or whatever it is. And I understand that. And this is my ignorance, but the Venezuelan oil needs more processing.
Oh, yeah, it does. It's a real heavy crude.
Right. So I think it's, not only can they not actually do it, it actually takes longer to refine. So
Real heavy crude.
Mhm.
You're absolutely right. And so this fool goes off, knocks off this president, goes off and arrests him. In the same week, he pardoned another Latin American president, which I find interesting.
He did.
But he didn't do jack shit in Venezuela because he didn't bring in the democratically elected person. He picks the vice president to take over.
Yeah, same people in charge because it's predictable.
Right.
Mhm.
So it's just a show.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to get into baseball, but I really want to just talk about this real quick. He went from that shit to Iran.
It was next.
Cuba's next.
Cuba's next.
Mhm.
And it's all to keep us not talking about Operation Epic Fury, also known as, what did you say?
Operation Epstein Files.
Operation Epstein Files. Fuck, what must be in there?
Like I said, every day someone finds a new letter, new email, new file, and they're always crazy. There's that one picture of Trump on the bed. He's in the bathrobe. He's quite young. He must be in his early 30s, maybe. And if you zoom in on the picture, it's a strawberry shortcake pillowcase. And it's been out there forever. We've seen this picture 1,000 times. Yeah.
It's fucked up.
Again, it's one of those things where it's just hiding in plain sight.
Yeah. Well, listen, we don't have much time. We're going to close off with this. When baseball season started here pretty soon next week.
Next week, yeah.
Go Stros.
Go Cubs.
Oh, man. Here's the thing about baseball. I think I've let my affinity for the Steelers and football out now. It probably shouldn't in running for office in Texas.
Oh.
But, baseball, I love the game so much. I played most of my life when I was a kid. Well, not most of my life, but my childhood.
Sure.
Who was my team? I just love watching the team. I think just historically a Yankees fan. I'm a Red Sox fan as well. How could you be both? I love the game. I love when you and I went to Boston and we went to Fenway.
It was so good. It was so awesome. I still dream about the hot dog we had there.
Yeah.
not the one hot, but each.
That's just more weirdness.
we each got our own hot dog.
Wrigley. Been to Wrigley about 3 times with the family.
Yeah, man.
So I can't tell you, do I have a favorite baseball team? The Dodgers, the Brooklyn Dodgers, before they were the LA Dodgers, why the Yankees back in the day when, before I was born, Mickey Mantle, Yogi Berra, Joe DiMaggio, just those teams, which you know better than anybody. You're the baseball history guy.
I am. I do love baseball a great deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, we probably passed the time, but I did want to say Venezuela just won the World Baseball Cup, World Baseball Championship. They beat the United States.
They did 3-2.
3-2. And so I guess that didn't go so well for Donald Trump. I'm sure he was rooting for USA. On some level we all were, but baseball's become really almost an immigrant sport because most of our teams are heavily dominant with Dominicans,
Yes.
some Venezuelans, a few Mexicans, honestly. Fernando Valenzuela back in
A few. If you look at it, baseball is a Latin American game now.
David Ortiz, Big Papi over there with the who was the pitcher in 2004 Red Sox?
Pedro Martinez. Also Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
And Vlad Guerrero, Dominican Republic. Like if you made an all-star team of foreign-born Latin American ball players, regardless of era, they would be a very competitive team. It'd be a very competitive team. It'd be like Ivan Rodriguez as a catcher, although he's from Puerto Rico. We'll take Puerto Rico as.
I think Trump thinks they're an immigrant nation. It's astounding to me that some of you MAGA folks have. Most recently, there was something on Puerto Rico was the Bad Bunny thing.
Yeah.
And they kept saying, "Oh, an immigrant." No, he's an American. Puerto Rico is an American territory.
It is.
Just like Guam.
Newsflash.
You should know this, but
Just like Texas was.
yeah, no shit, right?
Territory, probably not.
And they actually have a representation in Congress.
They have a delegate, I think. That's right.
Yeah, they do.
Mhm.
But so here you go. Bad Bunny's an American, and so was, who did you just tell me? Who ball player?
Ivan Rodriguez. He's
Ivan Rodriguez.
Probably
Pudge.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Pudge was an Astro, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a Ranger.
He was a Ranger.
A Ranger.
And a Tiger and something else. But I saw him, I used to live in Port Charlotte, Florida. And so and that's where the Rangers used to spring train. And I saw him when he was 18 years old in spring training, and he was extraordinary then. Extraordinary.
You know, we had talked about Clemente and also Puerto Rico.
Yeah, he
Huh.
was.
He died in a plane crash.
He was delivering humanitarian aid to Venezuela.
Imagine that.
It's crazy.
1972,
It was right after World Series.
December 31st. And Roberto Clemente, perhaps, who actually played for the team that I most liked and did not mention, because just like I was a Steelers fan, I was a Pirates fan.
Makes sense.
And in the late 70s, you had people like Dave Parker, Willie Stargell, Bill Madlock, Kip Ticovey, John Candelaria. Dale Barrow was on second base. You had Tony Pena catching.
That's Manny Sanguillen.
You had Manny Sanguillen and then Tony Pena
Yeah.
came after in the 80s. Who was in the outfield? I mentioned Dave Parker was out there. He was right field. Anyway, tremendous teams. Chuck Tanner was their coach. 78, 79, 80, 81. Those teams were phenomenal teams.
But the team in 79 for sure was, right?
Yeah.
So
And so Roberto Clemente was a precursor to that great team.
yeah, they won in 71 though.
Yeah.
They beat the Orioles in 71.
Right.
Yeah.
And Roberto Clemente was an amazing ball player. An amazing American ball player. At a time when some people in America don't consider Puerto Rico America, even though it is.
Yes.
Right? It is. And he, imagine that. A man died giving humanitarian relief on New Year's Eve to people in a country that he had nothing to do with in Venezuela.
That's why we named our son after him.
Really?
Yeah, my son's middle name is Clemente.
I did not know that. That's pretty cool. You did mention that to me the other day, but I did not know that until last week, and that's pretty cool.
So my wife is Puerto Rican, and her father and her mother are both from the island. And so I think my father-in-law grew up rooting for the San Terce Crabbers.
Yeah.
And that's where Clemente started playing, I believe.
Yeah, I bring all that up because I wanted to talk about Roberto Clemente, not a migrant, but so many other great ball players that were migrants and are migrants to this country playing ball, as migrants contribute to so many things. But I bring Roberto Clemente's story up to talk about pain and to talk about fortitude. Fortitude is having the strength to also understand that so many people are in pain, and the ability to say, I'm going to help, and I'm going to do my part, and I'm going to do something to change the course of what's going on. Not go to Puerto Rico like Trump did in his first administration and throw paper towels at people. There is a difference. Not someone that gets in an airplane and goes across South Texas and says, what a shithole. Not someone that makes fun of people that are sick and disabled. Not someone that calls migrants the scourge of the earth. Not someone that disparages women. Not someone that steals from all of us. And so I hope that today people had a little fun with us, and I hope that you can all join us again, maybe. And we'll talk some more about how woke you should be. Thank you all for joining us.